Vai começar.
Começar, gente, vai começar.
Dá pra escutar.
Vocês falaram que tá dando pra escutar o que eles vão falar lá?
É.
Então tem que fechar essa janela aqui.
Não.
Não, aqui, ó.
O celular.
É pelo celular. Ah, tá. Cortina lá, ninguém vai ver lá. A melhor coisa, fazer todo mundo só. É a melhor coisa, fazer tudo numa só. E antes ficavam lá. E antes ficavam lá na sala da Dani, e eles aqui ficavam.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Blues podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about social emotional education and a partnership that is established between school and family in this process and its importance. And I'm Leticia, and I'm gonna be translating what Mateus and Isa are saying over there. It's Isa's first time recording a podcast, and she's really happy to be with us today. So, Isadora knows really well what she's talking about because she's always a leader when it comes to this. Like, she's always putting herself out there. So we're starting now. We're talking about the partnership that is established between school and family, as I said, and how this impacts on emotional and social education. So starting from the beginning, should we start explaining to our public what social emotional education is? So, the name explains itself. Social emotional education is an educational process that considers the development of students' social and emotional skills. And this topic is becoming more and more discussed in debates as the social and emotional skills are directly related to the way we deal with challenges, and it is also related to other things that are coming with our age. For example, we're on the last year of high school, and we need to learn how to deal with those stuff because we're going to a university next year. So we need to learn how to deal with challenges that comes with life. And we think taking in consideration that schools goes beyond knowledge, the introduction of social emotional education allows students development in skills such as self-knowledge, interpersonal relationships, and it makes us learn how to deal with emotions and be more responsible. Besides, it promotes a healthy, positive, and inclusive school environment. And it is so important nowadays because this type of education promotes the formation of future professionals who are more human and are what the job market is looking for nowadays. Because once again, we're from senior year and we're really putting ourselves out there next year. We don't know what we're doing, we don't know what future is planning for us, but yeah, so it is important. It is also important that the school establish this. No, wait. So it is also important to establish that the school is not the only responsible for teaching social emotional skills. That should also be a parent's duty too. So that's why the partnership between parents and school is really important in this process. And also Isa is talking now that since these skills are used in academics and professional and personal life and makes us grow as a human and contribute to the formation of more aware and responsible citizens, it is the role of school and the students' families to create and offer a favorable environment for the development of these skills. So Mateus is now talking about the relationship with this school partnership with the family, because calma aí, que perdi o que ele falou. So school is not only about the endless contents of vast subjects. It is also the role. It also has the role of teaching us how to live in society in general. Okay. Isa is talking about how families should really support their children when it comes to this, because a lot of parents don't really know how to deal with their children's emotion, because they weren't brought up that way, so they don't know how to bring up their child that way. But they should try, because it is really important nowadays to have these soft skills, to get a good job, to know how to socialize with people, to know how to communicate what you're feeling, and knowing how to communicate with others in general, because that's what we need as human beings. Okay. So we need to create an environment that provide activities, instructions, and dialogues that encourage critical thinking, emotional reflection, and decision making in interpersonal relationships, because it is really important in general. And also, like, communication in the school context, it is important to have like this communication between colleagues, like the students themselves, and also communicate with the teacher what you're feeling. Here at INSA we have Fernanda, that is the psychologist, não sei falar orientadora pedagógica em inglês, mas she's the orientadora pedagógica, and we can talk to her, we can bring problems to her, and she'll like hear us. We need to be heard. That is the thing, we need to be heard, not only listen. Mateus is now talking that the family plays a key role in shaping the emotional and social skills of their children, and if they don't, the child won't be able like to put to put himself, herself out there. And what we need in today's world is someone who puts themselves out there. So emotions can either help or disturb us. It is a two-way street, and that's why we need to learn how to use emotional intelligence in our favor, like creating positive results and balancing the use of our emotional side and our rational side. So it can be said that emotional intelligence is the ability that allows the social coexistence of human beings. So we need to learn like how to deal with frustration, how to deal with things that do not go the way we want them to go. And you won't only use emotional intelligence at school or at your house, you will use it literally everywhere you go. Is it saying how the way we were brought up reflects on our behavior at school, in our behavior at all places we go? She's talking about bullying at school and she's saying that we need to have somewhere that we can find support, that we can find comfort. And she's saying that school is like our second house, like at the age we are right now, like to I think 15 to 17/18. So it's really important that we see the school as somewhere to find support. She's saying everyone deals with their emotions on their own way because that's how we learn to. In her opinion, at school with classes, projetos de vida, and stuff like that are really important because it helps us to know ourselves, to know what we want, to know how to respect others. But this is saying that if you have a good development of your social emotional skills, you can literally go through a lot of stuff and do not like give up stuff. Like he's talking about dealing with situations we do not want to deal, like when your boss is being not burned. Isa knows a worker from Mercado Livre, and the administration is no. And he was talking to her about how social and emotional intelligence is really important to deal with with the administration and stuff like that. So if you get there, like to the job interview, and they realize they have and they realize you are like you do not have those soft skills, you probably won't be chosen. You probably won't be chosen to the job. Isis is talking now about the partnership that is created between school and family, because it is really important that we integrate both contexts, because family is what makes us who we are right now, but school is what shapes us, because as Isa said before, it's like a second house for us. And we need to prepare for the world that is waiting for us. She's still talking about how the communication between school and parents are really important, and also the communication between students and teachers should exist, and it is a really good method, and we should have like she's talking about reunions, parents reunions from the class leaders, and we can like bring these topics to these reunions to discuss and have like these conversations about it and try to be better each time. And if there's a lack of communication in this in these conversations between parents and students, parents and school, students and teachers, it could really be a problem, and that's why we should really work on that. He's talking about the difference of being a parent that really cares about their child's education and really being there for them. Like, there's a difference of only caring about grades, only caring about the results, and like really being there for them, like to support them, to like help them deal with their emotions, because after all, we're all teenagers, we're all trying to live life, we're all trying to survive. And she's also talking about like there are parents who try to change their child's opinions, such as like parents who tell their child like, you should do medical school, you should be, yeah, in general, you should do medical school, because that's like the most common university parents want their child to course. But that's not that shouldn't be the way things go, because parents should be there to support, not to obligate and stuff like that. And she's also talking now that the student should feel home at school, so that's why the support is needed, like to feel free to come to school and be able to tell like your teacher, your friend, here in San Fernando, for example, that you're not feeling good, that your mental health is not good, that you need help. You should be able to ask for help. Isa said a phrase now that it's really important, that you need to listen in order to be heard. So you should also be someone who supports people. You should be someone who's there for your friend if they need you, for, I don't know, even your teacher, your parents. And she's talking now that this topic should be really discussed, more discussed than it is because we need to change a lot of things still. Is saying now that teens that are at home watching us try to create this bond with your school, with your friends, with your family. Try to put yourself out there, as I said before, and try to communicate your emotions. Try to communicate how you're feeling, because that's what you should do. That's what you should be able to do. Mateus asked Isa if she could share a little with us about how our school implementation of this new educational system is working and if it actually works. And she's now talking about the BNCC, that is Base Nacional Comum Curricular here in Brazil. That is basically our curriculum, our school curriculum. So she's now saying that we follow the BNCC rules and guidelines and that its main goal is to help students develop new abilities such as critical thinking, creativity, communication, responsibility, empathy, self-knowledge, and much more. And that is what social and emotional education suggests schools should teach. Is it saying that all schools should see BNCC as a role model for their curriculum because it is really important, and here at our school it works, and it's not only about the, as I said, the endless content the endless contents. It is about who we are as human beings. We need to be more vulnerable, we need to share what we're thinking. And we as students should look to these rules and guidelines and try to implement that in our lives, in our everyday life. Everyone can use these rules and guidelines in their lives, such as using communication, using critical thinking, creativity, and also responsibility, empathy, self-knowledge. Those are all important in our lives. So you should use it in everyday life and also pass to your friends, to your family. She's talking about the flexibility of students who have been taught with this new education, because for example, group projects, we learn how to be together, to think together, to create to create the project, and also we share knowledge, we share stuff like that. It's not only about getting to school, open your notebook and then writing some stuff and then close it and then go to your home. It is about the process. It is about really learning what you're studying, and not only learning just to learn to implement that in your life. For example, if you use empathy as an example, if we learn how to be sympathetic with others, we're gonna use that not only in the school and family context. We're gonna use it like literally everywhere you go with everyone you meet. Mateus is agreeing with Isa that the BNCC rules and guidelines are not only used in the classroom, and they can be applied in like here, for example, the agitainsa, the gincana, that we have like a lot of different not exams, tests to do that involves like a lot of different areas like arts, intelligence in general, also cooking, and a lot of really big variety of stuff. So we can apply these rules and guidelines that we learned at in the classroom in other areas of our lives. And they help you, and they help to build our character. They help us to build ourselves. Is it saying that we have the wrong idea that when we learn, things go from outside to inside, but it is like the opposite in fact. Things go from inside to outside. We share the ideas, but we also then get from the outside ideas from others and stuff like that. So we all should put this in practice. Because once you know yourself, you will know someone else, like your friend. Here in the chat we have a question from Dona Ba, and she's asking how to work empathy in the school environment. So is it saying empathy is putting yourself on others' shoes? And that should be a reality, but a lot of people are only thinking about themselves, and we as like human beings should be thinking about like the others. And now with our classes of life project, Isa believes that these are topics that should be discussed in these classes, and they already are. We had a discussion about this, I think it was last month. She thinks it was last month. And we talked about empathy in general and how it should be applied and how we should put ourselves in others' shoes and not only think about ourselves, because we do not always know what the other is going through. And she's also again saying that these topics should be more discussed, and they are like gaining more space in today's debates, but it's still like not discussed enough because emotions are still seen as flaws. Like you should not share your emotions with others. There are people who will tell you to keep it to yourself, but we should be able to express ourselves. And not only express ourselves, but let the other express themselves and now support their way of expression. and she's talking about like group projects and how this integration is really important. And Mateus is also now talking that agitainks is the perfect representation of like how we can use that with the teams. Like you have to be sympathetic with your team, with the other teams, to have like this free spirit and stuff like that. And they're talking that it is a really great experience to express yourself through art, through all the challenges we go through at Agita, and that the Gincana works literally all the rules and guidelines from NCC, like responsibility, independence, communication. Communication is key between the teams and between your team colleagues. And that, yeah, with Agita we learn how to deal with challenges, we learn how to lose and how to win, and much more. Unfortunately, we're finishing the podcast right now. The time is over, it's 9:30, and you're gonna watch the other teams' lives. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. That's it. Have a good day. Bye bye.